Welcome everyone to our first premium show for Under Trading. I just wanted to go over some of the charts that I've been sharing, and we can also take a look at Bitcoin and a couple alts. I wanted to go over what my analysis for Bitcoin for the remainder of 2023 looks like. It has changed slightly, but that's due to what's happened in the market and with the price action of late. So we'll just go in and have a little bit of a look around. So we'll start off with the Dixie. I posted this up around about 4 or 5 days ago. I noted that the Dixie has been running up for 12 weeks straight, and it's finally coming into some resistance at the 50% level, and it was looking like it's starting to get rejected. So this is on the weekly time frame, looking good, but then you start breaking it down a little bit, and this is the 4-hour chart, and it's not getting any 4-hour closes above the 50% level, and the red wicks are actually engulfing the green ones, and I thought that it was starting to look like it's getting rejected. I think it can sort of come down to around this 105.7 level, and then we can sort of reassess and see what's happening there. But we'll jump into the Dixie chart and just have a look and see what's happened since I did post that. So the 12th week printed red, and it got a nice big rejection there. We have seen it has bounced a little bit to start this week. This week could end up being green. I don't think we're going to get above this 50% level, but we'll go into some smaller time frames here. So this was the point that I'd posted on the 4-hour chart within the Discord, and it's just been on a bit of a downtrend, a little bit of a bounce at the moment. That'll probably start coming back down as the week goes on, and that leads us into the next post that I've put up. And what I've written here is in direct relation to the Dixie, we have the euro. The euro is the biggest influence on the Dixie, and as can be seen in the chart, it was also on its 12th red week, and it was starting to come into support at the 50% level of the downtrend, which is it shares some confluence with what's happening with the Dixie. I thought that we could start to see a bit of a bounce here, and if we do start to see a bit of a bounce at this 50% level, it could start to show a change of direction for the euro against the US dollar. It's been in a downtrend since 2018. In this channel, when it's going red, it gets lots of red. However, during that period from 2018, the Dixie was going up, and we're starting to see the Dixie flip its trend now as well. So we should expect to see the euro starting to flip its trend too. We'll just jump in and have a look at the euro and just see what's been happening. So when I posted this, it's on the 1 week chart, but it was around 1049. So we're somewhere in this vicinity, and we've started to come up here. To see this starting to flip on the lower time frames, we want to start seeing these tops here get broken to the upside, and that's where it all sort of starts. Like, you can break it down further. We go to the 1-hour chart. 1-hour chart, it's the same high again. You can even go to the 15-minute chart. But once you start getting into these 15-minute charts, 5-minute charts, it really becomes a lot less reliable. You can't really use a 5-minute or 15-minute chart for doing a long-term or mid-term analysis. It's very much for short-term only. But it does look like it's going to start coming back up. It's at least going to fill this gap here from the weekend, because it didn't manage to fill it here, and that could also start to bring on some higher highs and higher lows as we come out, and then we'll start flipping to these other charts, to these other time frames. We might start seeing some of these tops get taken out, and so on and so forth. Just jump back into Discord. So looking at Bitcoin, back in August, I posted this as my outlook for the remainder of 2023 at the time, based on what I saw was going on. This is how I sort of saw the market playing out. We ended up getting a massive pump, and I thought that we could continue up and test the prior range of where we were. The levels of where we're running to aren't as important in these long-term analysis, compared to the sentiment that I have written against most of these levels or these pivot points, the swing levels. So I've got written here, I thought we were gonna get up to around 29k, and the general sentiment was going to be the bully's back. People are going to be getting in longs. We've broken back above the trend line, and then we're going to come crashing down. That's going to trap a lot of people, a lot of retail. Once we come down to this yellow line here is the 23.5k, 50% level. I felt that the general feeling is going to be, we're going to zero, we're going to 10k, 12k, 14k, you name it. There's going to be a lot of FUD around the place. The stocks are going to be coming back, are going to be retracing as well. There's going to be recession talks, all that sort of stuff. And we've actually seen some of this chatter, and some of it has happened. For instance, the Chinese economy, that's been getting a lot of FUD lately. There has been recession talks. The SPX did retrace to 42.18, I think it got down to. There has been a lot of FUD, but Bitcoin's been relatively strong at the moment, even though it is in a down. It's in a current downtrend. It has been fairly strong, in my opinion. Then moving along, I thought from hitting that low, we're going to come up, test the trend line, which is the trend line from the lows from November last year. The sentiment is going to be bullish again. It's going to be short squeezing. It's going to be squeezing all the shorts from 23.5k. And then it's going to start pulling back and hitting some resistance. The general feeling is going to be, oh no, there's a double top here. We're doing a double top. We're going to come down. We're going to test 23.5k. It comes down. It doesn't put in a lower low, or it comes down to 23.5k. Basically test the range that we've been in at around 25k, and then now it's going to start climbing out of these levels. We're going to start breaking trend lines and flipping them, testing the 31.8k high, and then this is coming in towards the very end of the year. We might even try to dip out of the channel and get rejected, come back in, and we'll just sort of play in this area towards the end of the year. Probably end up around the 34, 33k mark, something like that. What would invalidate this whole idea is this 23.5k level not holding on. We start getting closes below this level, which may very well happen. I don't have a crystal ball. This is all just my sort of thoughts, and I do adjust my thoughts based on price action, which I'll just go in and show you. So that is what I was thinking back in August, and now we're almost halfway through October. So I'll just jump into the Bitcoin chart. So it's sort of similar theory. I'll get rid of some of these fibs so we can see what's going on. It's still similar type of theory. Coming up to 29K. I guess almost a capitulation down to 23.5. And where we are now, that would line up with the bottom of the channel, which would be great if we could tap that. Initially, I had us coming down there back here in September. I think coming down and testing the level later on in October and tapping the bottom of the channel makes a bit more sense. It's an added confluence. It's good to tap both sides of the channel, which we've seen from time and time again. You know, where we started the channel, and we came down, we hit the bottom of it. Then we came up, we hit the top, and now we're coming down to hopefully, potentially hit the bottom of it. But it's still the general sentiment of what I had in my original analysis carries into this as well. You know, we break the 28.5K level up to 29.2, pulls back on, capitulate down, V-shaped recovery out, which looks very similar to here. A little bit of sideways action, breaking up into back above the trend line, which I'll just show where that trend line's from. That trend line is from the lows, 19.5, and provided support. We nearly touched it here until we broke down below, came up, tested, rejected, and now we've been more or less sideways since. What hasn't changed is hitting 23.5K. I still think that's going to happen. And I still think that we're going to end up in this region here, around 35K. When this happens is less important than the levels. The timing is difficult and can change. If we've got 10 red days in a row, or 4 or 5 red days in a row, you're one red day closer to a green, and then you're going to start going up, and that pushes out your time. Whereas this horizontal level, the 50% level, stays unchanged. So we can go sideways, 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 and then hit it, and that's fine. As long as we're not sort of going sideways down at the level, because then you're likely to break through because it's not showing strength. But if you're going sideways up here, it can stay going sideways for not as long as it wants, but for a fair amount of time. It's less concerning. It's less important than marking out your key levels of where it's going, and the sentiment that it's going to create when we do go down there. So that's what I'm sort of watching at the moment. I did have a little bit of a small play in my mind that I wanted to do on Bitcoin at the moment, around the 27.2 level. I wanted to just take a scalp long, because I do think we are going to head up to around 29K within the next sort of week, before coming down. But you guys are more important, so I'll do the stream instead, which is fine. Yeah, I will be hopefully hanging out to get into a short up here to write it down. That is fairly important to me to catch that one. But the one that I really am keen on is this level down here, this 23.5K. I don't think we'll. I think we'll see a very sharp recovery, and that'll be the last time that we see under 25k this bull run, or this cycle rather. I will go into some alts and just have a bit of a look. I'll start with Ethereum, and I want to have a look at it against Bitcoin. I did do a little bit of a post about it. When did I post about it? Yeah, so I did this about 2-3 days ago. Just talking about ETH, how it's been in this channel since 2018. It's been since, what have I got written here? For the last 12 months, it has been putting in lower highs and lower lows. And since it's broken out of the channel, it's really gone red. And it's really shown a lot of weakness. There's no strength for Ethereum at all at the moment. Let's jump into the chart. So interestingly, this top here actually marks the merge, or ETH 2.0 coming out, however you want to look at it, going to proof of stake, which I didn't know about. I actually learnt that off someone else that I watched, and it's just interesting how it was just a complete sell the news event. Um, there's been no strength since the merge has happened, and now that we've broken out of the channel, it's in strife. It's in big trouble at the moment. It's coming into some support at the right now, but I don't think it's going to hold up. It's definitely not looking good for Ethereum at the moment. There is, I'm pretty sure it's Ben Cowan or Ben Cohen. He's sort of looking around these levels here, around the 0.04 on the Bitcoin pair. That really wouldn't look great for Ethereum, I don't think. We'll just jump into the USDT chart. If Ethereum gets down to 0.04 on the Bitcoin pair, and Bitcoin goes down to 23.5k, that's going to force ETH to fall out of its channel that it's been in since June last year. It's scary to think of, but that's going to probably put Ethereum down here around the 1150 mark, $1,200 mark. I mean, it's it would be a fire sale, that's for sure. But yeah, that could really bring about some opportunities for a lot of people that have been sitting on the sidelines and not partaking in the markets. It would be fairly disastrous for a lot of the alts if that something like that was to occur. We can have a look at total 3 market and see what's happening there. Yeah, so it's still continuing its movement. It hasn't completed this wave at the moment. At the moment, it's just a higher low, but it looks like it's going to continue down, and it would have a fair way to go. I've still left my comments up from what I put up there quite some time ago about this point here just being a mid swing rally. At the moment, it looks like it's playing out, but it's not confirmed. It needs to start breaking these lows here at around 290 billion, we'll call it. we'll jump into some alts. We'll start with the fan favorite first. We'll have a look at sweat. We'll delete that. So with sweat, it's been going gangbusters. It really has. And it looks like we may have finally come into some strong resistance. A couple of the guys in one of the other in the sweat server, they enjoy posting up some daily stats about volume and the like. And I've noticed that over the past week or so, the volume has been significantly increasing as we've been approaching 1 cent. But now what we're starting to see is the price, whilst the volume is still there, the price isn't moving like it was anymore. And it's starting to show signs of rejection. So I think we've come into we've met our match at the 50% level. And to just show where that 50% level is drawn from, it's from the January high to the all-time low. So we can go into this and we can look at where are we going to potentially go to, or what would be a healthy retrace. So a healthy retrace would be staying above point. We'll call it staying above 7.5, above the 50% level here. A healthy read, yeah, we could come down to there, and then we could wick below and then bounce, and that would be fine. If we start breaking down below this 50% level, that's when it starts getting a little bit messy, and we start testing some of these previous support and resistance levels. So there's 628. That was a very key level that we got some nice bounces off. And then below that, we start struggling to find some levels of support, because it's been very much a straight up move. There hasn't been too many retraces. We did have this nice one that bounced off the 628 level and confirmed it as being flips of support. And then the only other real area that we've got is this one down here, around 0.5 0053. It's a long way to get down to there from where we are at the moment, though. But with the global release coming up in, I think it's within a week, it'll be interesting to see how the marketplace for sweat moving forward. I hope it just has a minor correction, maybe come down and find some support at this level and continues on up. That would be fantastic for me and a lot of people that I know and am friends with. But I think the realistic approach is that it's going to start coming back down to around here, around the 7.5, 7.7 level. I think that would be realistic. And then we start assessing what the market's going to do from there. And a lot of this will be reliant on what happens with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and when they have their pullbacks or breakdown. I know Sweat's been doing its own thing for now, but I think a lot of that is on the back of the US release. And once you take the US release away from the spotlight for Sweat, I'm very interested to see how it stands on its 2 feet. So it's a bit of a wait and see. I'm not going to be taking any shorts here. Just purely based on, I feel like this is a news run, and sometimes it can be the alts can really start moving on a news run, which we've seen with Sweat. It's up over 2x from its low. I mean, if we came back up and tested the 50% level, maybe after the 17th, could consider a short, but I'd be skeptical just because it could. You just don't know. Like it's been on this run for a while, so this time could be different. We could start breaking up to some of these higher levels, and the way that sweat broke down, it didn't really bounce up either. So there's not too much resistance sitting above. We're pretty much at it at the moment. We're actually been trading above the resistance at the moment because all this here is the resistance. We've been trading above it. So for me, I think we've got this here that's clearly been flipped to resistance. That's what's acting against us, and the 50% level. But if we broke past it, there's nothing really. There's not much in the way to get up, and it'll get up quickly to the 1.5 cent mark. So yeah, not really one I'm looking to take a position on. I've already got my spot bag, and I'll be sitting pretty on that for now. I think. We'll have a look at B&B. Something a bit different. We don't really look at B&B too much. Oh, it's interesting. I posted this quite a while ago, I think, back in June. Uh, I had this $219 level marked out as a key level. And I sort of thought that we were going to break down, come back up, test the level, and then start breaking down. I actually think I did try to take a short after we broke down initially. I think it was around here. I might have got wicked out, or maybe I didn't take the short. I can't really recall. But maybe if I should have just cooled my jets a little bit and waited, because now B&B looks like it could be in a bit of trouble. Maybe go out to a monthly view. Oh, it's not enough on this chart. So with B&B, it's really in a bad spot here from a chart perspective, because it really got moving in the last bull market cycle. It went from $45 and just mooned like very, very quickly. This is on a weekly chart. We went from $44 to $350 in 3 weeks. And it hasn't had a chance to build up any support or structure in this region. I'm not saying that B&B is going to come down to $45, but I would say that $120 wouldn't be off the cards. Around that $120 mark. We'll see if there's any structure on the daily. Very little. We'll spend 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll spend 7 days at this range at $140. So that would almost be like a last man standing. It's the last hurrah, which is likely to probably hold. Like I can't see why it can't hold. It's a fair way away. It's a decent drop, $60 from where it is, 30% drop, but it wouldn't be unheard of. And these drops in B&B potentially, in Ethereum potentially, It all comes back to Bitcoin dominance. And we've just started to break out from this range that we've been in for a few weeks here. After making a new high, we had a nice pullback, and now we're starting to move again. And same thing for BNB, for Bitcoin dominance. There's a little bit of structure here at the 53% level, but on the way down, it just went straight down and quickly. We could go up to this 57% level pretty quickly, I would have thought. There is a structure here that we do need to be aware of at 53%. But if we did really get Ethereum and BNB getting shaken off their levels, this could really start to move the Bitcoin dominance up pretty quickly. And there shouldn't be any surprises with it, to be honest. I'd probably tend to suggest that we could initially break this 52% level. I'll draw it. It might be easier if I draw it. We break the 52%, we go to 53, maybe we have a pullback. We test 52, and then we can go up. And something like that could occur. And basically what that will be is we break the top, we come back down. People think, oh, we're breaking down with double top maybe or something to that effect. Alt season's coming, then boom, up we go. That's an idea. These are all just ideas. This could be it, and maybe we might go to 54%, and then it starts to taper off. But I don't think so. Bull markets are led by Bitcoin, and this will play into the hand of the bull market being run by Bitcoin. So we'll go off a little bit, and we might have a look at some of the stuff that I've posted up. So something that I wanted to do was post up what my current crypto investments are, and also what I'm doing in the stock market. It's just me providing transparency on what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. It's not a shill or you got to buy this or it's the best thing since sliced bread. This is just what I do and how I'm doing it. Yeah, and I'm happy to hear what other people are doing and how they're doing it. So currently for crypto, 95% of my portfolio is Bitcoin. I've got some sweat. My average entry for sweat is 0.0073. I'm not planning on adding any more at the moment, unless we go a fair bit below my average entry. And that would purely just be to bring down my average entry price. I'm quite bullish on sweat overall. There's no doubt about that. I have gotten involved in a pre-sale for this layer one called EXO. Um, I'm not looking to hold this position for very long. I'm looking to exit it. The project seems great. I just personally don't get along, I suppose, with the team that's running it. So I'm not. I wish them all the best, but yeah, I'm going to be trying to pull out my position when I can. And besides that, that's all that I hold for crypto at the moment. I don't have any alts, and don't have any plans on buying at the moment. Definitely watching, but yeah, I'm not looking to add any at the moment. We'll just skip stocks for a second. These are alts though, that I am interested in acquiring. I might not acquire all of them, but these are the ones that that I'm looking at the moment. They will only make up 15% of my total allocation to crypto. Um, and yeah, I don't like big risks. I prefer to be in Bitcoin. It's proven. Alts don't really. They're more of a gamble for me. That's how I look at them. But yeah, I've got Near, Vet, Loopring, Render. I don't think I'll be able to get into Render. Pretty sure I've missed that one. It needs to come down too much in price for me to want to buy some. Pyre. I think Pyre is a real gamble. I do like it, but there's just too many influences killing it, which turns me off getting into it. We got Link, Solana, Atom. Solana, I'd probably only get a small bag, same as Link. And there's Matic as well, but that's got to come down quite a bit too. I think it could get down to the areas that I'm looking to buy it at, but I'll cover that off in a different video. What I consider when I'm looking to buy alts for spot positions for mid to long term investments are tokenomics, particularly the vesting schedules, the venture capitals that are involved, inflation rates of the token, the utility of the token, the team of the token. I never used to put a lot of onus on the team, but from after a recent experience, that's actually gone up the list of priorities for me. I want to get if the team is, I want to get to know the team, see how they operate, see how they work. The roadmap and the roadmap history. Have they been keeping to task and hitting the milestones that they've been setting out, or have they been delaying? The community that's behind the project. Every project has a community. Might be 5 people, might be 5,000 people. I want to see if that community is growing, and that's the same as the holders. The number of holders of the token, if it's already out there. I want to see are the holders. Is the amount of holders consistently growing, or is it remaining steady, or is it declining? And also the data behind the holders. Is there a lot of whales holding large amounts, or is it fairly evenly distributed? That's fairly important as well for me. And just going over stocks quickly. I've got a portfolio through a portfolio manager, and I just stick to ETFs. For me, I don't have enough time to be doing as as much as I can with crypto, plus working, plus I've got a family to also then be looking and delving into what stocks I want to buy for long term holds. So I just try to stick to ETFs. It's very simple, stress free, and yeah, minimal concerns. So I've just got a list there of the ETF that I'm invested in. Part of the portfolio or an offer from the portfolio manager is you can allocate 5% of your position to Bitcoin as well, and that's held in trust by Gemini. Um, they keep it in a cold wallet, off chain. Everything that's all the Bitcoin that people have invested into through this portfolio manager. So yeah, I've got that involved there as well. That's in addition to what I hold up here. I consider it separate. So yeah, that's just a little bit about what I'm invested in, and you will notice actually that in this list I don't have Ethereum in there, and there's a reason for it. Ethereum's great, and I do like it, but from an investment perspective, I just don't see the the worth in investing in it. I'd prefer to put my money into Bitcoin than I would Ethereum, and it's not as risky as alts in general, but it's more risky than Bitcoin. But the return isn't as good as alts. but it's a little bit better than Bitcoin. And I just don't feel that I need to have that middle ground. The returns that you can get from Bitcoin is more than good enough for me. I'm more than happy with that. And then I'm happy to just have a bit of a dabble in alts. So that's why I don't have any spot position for Ethereum. Um, but yeah, I think that might draw us to a close. If anyone has any comments or requests for future videos, please do let myself or the team know. Or you can put up a suggestion or put out some requests, whatever it may be. But yeah, until next time, we'll leave it there.